State House. I got up this morning, and for those of us who are from Hispanic heritage, today is actually a day of celebration for Three Kings Day, the Feast of the Epiphany. Right? For Orthodox Christmas, I guess it's also their Christmas as well. And so today is already from the very beginning, depending on where you're coming from, a day of celebration. But it's wonderful to be here this morning and to see the room filled. And if you haven't, if you just sat down, because I know I've been where you're sitting, look around. Take a minute and look around at the people around you. I think we have every single part of the state, every single community, every single race and ethnic background. It is such a joy, religious backgrounds as well, and it's such a joy to be able to do something that pulls people together. And I can say that because I think particularly 2020, a lot of us are suffering from some sort of anxiety about what this year was going to work through to be at the various levels of government in the world. And so as we get ready for this year, what a wonderful opportunity to be able to start by celebrating and commemorating what has happened before us. So among us are many, many different sectors. I see people from the business community, I see people from higher education, and certainly community leaders, but I also want to give a shout out to my fellow elected officials. And so I'm going to ask, rather than list everybody, we already had this agreement, I want them to all stand, particularly my women elected, stand up and be recognized. And then I am going to give a big thank you to the Rhode Island Council of Humanities and Elizabeth Francis, who you'll be hearing from a little bit later. They've partnered with our team to work on one of the major projects that we're announcing today. And then finally, I want to thank Jen Long, who is the artist that helped develop the brand identity we will be unveiling in a few minutes. So it turns out that January 6th, as I said, from different faith traditions is an important day. It also happens to be the 5th anniversary of the first woman governor being elected and the first Hispanic to statewide office to be elected in New England. And so I think January 6th, we just all need to take a mental note of it and pass it along, that January 6th is a day when many good things can happen. But 100 years ago today, the Rhode Island General Assembly ratified the 19th Amendment, giving American women the right to vote. And if anybody's counting sort of how the vote went, the House was 89-3, and the Rhode Island Senate was 38-1. So there's always something, right? So this, and like I said, this comes at a challenging time, I think, for our country and for our world. So I think that whenever you're going to celebrate something like this, it's actually really important to see what it says, right? What does that 19th Amendment, we know what it resulted in, but what does it say? So the actual text says that the right of citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of sex. And like any good idea, it took decades and decades of hard work and determination to make it happen, because why wouldn't we pass good ideas really quickly? So I think we can all be inspired by the persistence of those trailblazing women who worked to attain this fundamental right of all Americans to vote. Now, while I say that, today is more than just a celebration. It is a moment to reflect and to learn from our past. The truth is that the women's suffrage movement, like many other movements, is complicated. And so there was good, and there was stuff that really should have been done better. And among that, when the 19th Amendment was passed, it really did not guarantee all women the right to vote. It really pushed forward the right to vote of white women. And then many came after that. So, and I think it's important because I know that in the community we've had conversations about this. How do we celebrate something that didn't really include everybody? But the truth of the matter is that history isn't perfect. And I do think that we need to be able to support each other and celebrate those things that are positive in our world. And so people of all races and backgrounds helped make this ratification possible. But a lot of times it has been white women who have taken the lead, if you will, in terms of getting recognized and acknowledged. And so we take a moment today to thank all women who fought that battle at that time and got us where we are today, and particularly the countless women of color who saw their work and advocacy go unsung. So we've gone a long ways in 100 years, but there's still a lot of work to do. So, and this is a particularly important point with regards to the ballot box. The good news is that each of us has the power to shape our communities through our voices, our votes, and our actions. That's the beauty of living in a democracy. But we can only move that democracy forward if we include as many people as possible. And I know many people here in this room have heard me say our best public policy comes when we have a diversity of opinions, perspectives, and backgrounds around the policymaking table. And so we're going to need that civic engagement and fighting spirit of the suffragettes to move things forward in our state and in our country. And it's in that spirit of inclusivity and diversity that I'm really proud to announce the launch of Shall Not Be Denied, which is a collaborative partnership with my office and the Rhode Island Hospital of Humanities. Now, throughout 2020, we're going to be amplifying events and programs under this Shall Not Be Denied brand to commemorate the 100th anniversary of the 19th Amendment. And what I'm hoping it will do is that it gives us an opportunity to speak with our young Rhode Islanders about the complex history that is women's suffrage and the women's movement, and to increase civic literacy and engagement throughout the state in a year that's going to be an absolutely critical one for our country, for our state, for the world. And so it's time to learn not just about our past victories, but also from our mistakes, and to dream of a new world where inclusion and voices are heard even more so than they are now. To tell you a little bit more about the Shall Not Be Denied and its core values, now I'd like to welcome Elizabeth Francis, the Executive Director of the Rhode Island Council of Humanities, to come up.